conclusion is likely to be the best explanation, so it's going to be an abductive
Fuck that, I want a
case.
simplified argument, my brain's not working, go.
Okay.
Thank you.
Premise. Okay, yeah, so I'm just going to lay out the premises. I think that's still pretty simple. Sure, so the question, like, you have to start with is, why is it wrong to kill human beings? And I would say one of the reasons why it's wrong to kill you or a 50-year-old or a 10-year-old is that it deprives you of valuable experiences, opportunities, activities, relationships, everything you would have experienced. That action of death, the death I caused, would have deprived you of those things. This is what we call deprivational harm, and the concept I'm talking about is something called future-like hours, FLO for short, if you want to call it that. So it's just going to be that the fetus possesses that trait from conception. Abortion harms the fetus significantly via that deprivational harm. Therefore, the abortion is wrong.
Okay, brilliant claim. Divine, are you a Christian?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you not believe that... Now this is just separate topic, and then we can get onto the actual basis of your claim there. So, look, do you not believe that, obviously as a man of God, that when a fetus is aborted, the soul that was in that body, that vessel, that fetus, is safe with God and has returned to God? Do you not believe in that?
Yeah, so I'm agnostic on what happens to fetuses. I mean, the pro-life argument I just gave, it wasn't a claim, it was an argument. The claim is that it's... Well, the claim is that it's wrong. The argument was the reasons I gave. And second of all, it's a secular argument, not a Christian one. But I will answer your question. The Catholic view, the church teaches that fetuses go to limbo, right? Which is not actually like heaven.
What? No, I'm not questioning that that's taught. I'm like, what the fuck is the logic behind that? I'm not, by the way, that's nothing against you, that's against what the fuck, that idea, because, I mean, I'm sorry, but if something has human DNA, then surely it would be going to wherever God... I mean, I'm sorry, look, this is the issue I have, right? In Christianity, specifically, when people talk about abortion and stuff, and these people are Christians who are pro-life, the issue I have is that, oh, well, an innocent person will go and be with God. An innocent human being will go and be with God. Could you agree that a fetus is an innocent being?
No.
What is a fetus then? Like in terms of what it is it innocent?
No, so innocence would only be ascribed to moral agents. A fetus isn't a moral agent, it's a moral patient. For example, like a newborn. A newborn isn't a moral agent either, because a newborn can't... A moral agent is somebody who can choose between right and wrong. That requires a certain level of rationale. Newborn babies, fetuses, puppies don't have that. So moral patients, I would say, are not innocent. They can't be innocent. It's impossible. Because innocence would mean they can be guilty. And obviously fetuses can't be guilty, so therefore they can't be innocent. So I just call them human beings.
I will give you my argument, if you want.
Okay. Okay, well, you didn't engage in the argument I gave, so I don't mind. You can give your argument.
Yeah, no, I honestly, I don't know how to necessarily question your claim, because it's not your claim, your argument. I don't know how to necessarily question that, because quite frankly, that is a brilliant argument. So I'm not sure how to question that. So I'm thinking instead, if I give you my argument, you could question that. Because you probably heard every single argument there is for pro-choice.
Yeah.
You make videos on it, debunking them, so let's go. So, consciousness argument. Here we fucking go. You've heard this a million times. So, I personally believe that abortion is permissible up until 20 weeks of pregnancy. During week 20 to 24 is when a fetus develops, the pineal gland fully develops, certain areas of the brain develop to where that being is able to have a conscious experience. No, not conscious, is able to have a conscious experience. We could argue that on a religious basis that the soul has entered the body at this point, if that makes kind of sense. You know, you can take this in a spiritual way, or you could take this in just a purely biological way where we're talking about morality, in regards to science and things like that. So, look, there's my claim. I think that, personally, a fetus does not have adequate value to the mother up until 20 weeks of pregnancy, and that the mother has full autonomy with what she wants to do to that fetus, in the sense of the termination of pregnancy.
Great. So does her autonomy justify killing the fetus after consciousness, or only prior?
Prior.
Okay, so autonomy isn't really anything to do with it then. Because otherwise, if her autonomy,
nothing to do with it.
because if autonomy is what allowed you to kill the fetus, then you would allow abortion a day before birth. Regardless if somebody's conscious, you would just say autonomy overrides that. But it seems to be that autonomy has limits, and that is when a human being is conscious. So it's not full autonomy,
right? Then it would be partial autonomy.
Okay, and that autonomy is limited when a fetus has consciousness, you said, right?
Sorry, say that one more time.
You said the woman's autonomy should be limited once the fetus has consciousness?
Practically.
Okay, cool. And what is consciousness?
We can't explain it fully. But what I'm saying is I'm not saying consciousness, I'm saying the ability to have consciousness. I'm not saying that someone has to be conscious. Sorry?
Wait, you said the ability to have consciousness.
The ability to be conscious, not just being conscious, because that would then point to you could easily say to me then, oh, well, if I unalive you while you're asleep, you're not conscious, so...
Mm-hmm. Well, also coma patients and other things. Okay, but wouldn't a human organism from the moment of conception have the ability to be conscious?
It would have the potential to, not necessarily the ability.
Okay, what's the distinction between ability and potential?
Potential would be something that could potentially develop or will, whereas the ability to, someone would possess that.
Wait, but they don't possess consciousness now?
No, not prior to 20 weeks, but they possess the ability to be conscious.
What, prior to 20 weeks?
No, after 20 weeks.
Wait, so then, hold on. Prior to 20 weeks, you're saying they possess the ability, but you just defined ability the same way you defined potential.
Prior to 20 weeks, they do not possess the ability. They have the potential. After 20 weeks, they have the ability.
So what's the difference between potential and ability?
I've just said the potential is
something it could do, and ability is something
it could lead up to be able to. And ability is something that...
Yeah, ability is the same thing. It's something they aren't doing right now, but they could do.
No, ability is you have the capability to do something. Potential would be you can develop that capability. Two different things.
Wait, how do people in comas have the ability to be conscious? Because they might be in the future? They have the ability
to be conscious in the sense of they quite literally... They have... What's the word for it? The people in comas, see, they have brain activity, mostly. People in comas have brain activity.
But that's
fetuses
not consciousness.
After 20 weeks show brain activity in regards to being able to have a conscious experience.
But people in comas don't have a conscious experience now.
They have the ability to, and they have brain activity.
Yeah, they have the ability because they will in the future. That's why they have the ability.
They've also previously had, but they've previously had that.
So now it's about past consciousness.
No. But
that's a new thing you've just baked in.
You're not understanding. They have the ability. We're not getting into the past sentience argument because that's not what I'm getting at. What I'm saying is that they still have that ability. That ability is just kind of on mute at the minute because they're unconscious, but they have that ability to be conscious. They in the same way,
a 12-week-old fetus in 8 weeks will be conscious.
Yeah, but they don't possess that ability.
Wait, but they will have it. That's what ability means.
No, they have the potential to have that capability, but they do not have that capability.
You're saying ability is you don't have it right now, it's not working right now, but it will in the future.
No. Ability is you are able to do something. Potential, you will or could develop that ability.
But ability and potential, those sound to me like you're cashing. Those sound identical. You're just using different words to say the same thing. You're saying
identical.
But you're saying potential is that something they will be able to do in the future.
Here we go.
And ability is something that they can do, but they can't do it right now.
Do I have... Shut up, Google. Do I have the capability, as a disabled person, for example, do I have the ability to run a marathon, or do I have the potential?
I would say you have both.
How? How do I have the ability to run a marathon if my knees don't work?
Because if you have the potential to do something, then you have the ability to do something. It's literally like, you can't say somebody has the potential to do X, but they don't have the ability to do X.
We're just not going to get
That's not me, you're not understanding.
No. You're not listening. I've literally explained to you that there is a difference between having the ability to do something and having the potential to develop an ability.
Okay.
Two different things.
What is the ability?
Similar, but they are different.
What is the ability predicated off of? Is it brain parts?
Brain parts? No, it's quite... some people say... I know I need to look into the pineal gland a bit more, but we're talking about stages in which the brain's developed. Don't ask me what parts of the brain, because quite frankly, I don't fucking know.
No, I'm not saying you have to even know that. I'm saying
it's based.
What is it? What happens like at 19 weeks and 6 days, and then 20 weeks, that day difference? I'm saying what happens that makes the 19 week and 6 day have the potential, but the 20 week have the ability?
Gets a flashbang with a sentience. There you go.
Well, that's obviously not a serious explanation, which means the argument falls apart. You can't say you value something if you don't even know when it begins. But even if I agreed, let's say...
yeah, I mean, you could literally look up anywhere. In week 20, the brain has developed enough. And by the way, week 20 to 24, 20 to 24 is the period in which the fetus
but I could grant that to be true.
No. Fetus possesses the ability during week 20 to week 24 to have a conscious experience.
Yeah, I could grant all that to be true.
For me is 20 weeks just to make sure there's no mishaps.
Yeah, I could grant all that to be true and still say abortion is wrong, because what you're doing is you're begging the question that you need to be sentient right now to have moral consideration, or you need to have the ability to be sentient.
I'm saying the ability.
You're baking that in. Yeah, you're baking into the conclusion, or you're begging the question, saying that you need the ability to be sentient in order to be morally considered, but you haven't even presented an argument for that. That's just a claim. Why?
So you want me to tell you why I think fetuses have value after 20 weeks because of the whole consciousness argument?
What? No, you've made the claim that in order to be morally considered, you need the ability to be sentient, right? You're saying that's a necessary condition. They need that. Without that, they're not considered. Okay, so what's the argument that in order to be morally considered, you need sentience? Or the ability for sentience?
What, you mean to have moral value?
Moral consideration, yeah.
Right. Bear with. How the fuck are 100 people here? Right, bear with for a second.
Because I'm here.
We're talking... Because you're here.
Obviously.
Are these your little fanboys?
Well...
Crazy. You should stay up here longer.
I don't know if I'd call them that, but yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, so... Look, when it comes to inherent value, look, really one of the arguments that comes to me is like, look, it's not necessarily like the fetus doesn't have value in the first place. It's like, yeah, it has value to an extent prior to 20 weeks, but afterwards it possesses the same amount of value as the mother, purely because, you know, having experiences, as we both agree on, is something that, you know, is valuable. Having experiences, having that personhood is something that's valuable. You know,
I agree. I just don't think you need it to be morally considered. That's the claim you make.
I would say
I think that's a jump.
Need it to be morally valued.
Yeah, that's a huge claim that I don't think is intuitive, because clearly we can recognize that beings have moral consideration to not be unjustly harmed even without that thing. Now I'm asking you why. Why do they need this thing in order to be morally considered enough to not be killed via an abortion? Because
I think that what's the word? Fuck me.
You think?
Yeah. I think therefore I am. No. Because I personally believe that a being that has that ability to be conscious also has that aspect of personhood. Kind of becomes like the rest of us. You know, it's like the same way a brain dead person, for example, is not as valued as someone who is in a coma.
Well, that's because they don't. Well, that's because they have no state of well-being, not because they're not conscious. Because if we didn't value brain dead people because they're not conscious, then we also wouldn't value coma patients. Consciousness isn't why we pull the plug on brain dead people. It's because they don't have any state of well-being. They have no capacity to flourish. They don't have future experiences, right? And you just disregard all that. You just think that none of that matters. You just focus on this consciousness thing. And what I'm asking you is why do they need this thing to be a person? Why do they need it to be morally valued, as you would say? I don't like the word value. I'd rather the word considered.
Because they
I think value is very arbitrary.
At that point, to
that's just telling me what sentient. You're just repeating what it is.
Oh my god! You wanted an argument? No, just for that, because that was. I'm sorry, that's fucking weird. Look, you can come up in a minute. Holy shit! I didn't want to. I wasn't inviting you. It was a fucking crikey. Divine, come back up if you want. But bear with me for a minute, because that actually pissed me off then. No, fuck off, Jeff. Charlie. Hello, Divine. Don't ever say that again.
Well, I mean, you probably shouldn't curse me out either.
No, I'm not cursing you out and saying I wasn't insulting you there.
But you said fuck me. Either that's an invitation.
No,
for,
I didn't. No, that was
like,
not an invitation for you. No,
so then you were cussing me out.
I wasn't cussing you out.
Well, it's either one or two options.
Fuck.
See, it's one or two options. Either you're cussing at me or you...
brother, I'm not swearing at you. I'm getting a bit frustrated.
Agitated because nobody ever challenges your position.
No, because people do challenge my position, but it's the fact that you are running around the fucking bushes constantly trying to see this. This is the issue: is that my brain isn't fucking working because we've not been able to agree on anything. We've not been able to reach a conclusion on anything. I've not been able to agree with you. You haven't been able to agree with me. Even on the fucking definition of ability versus potential.
Well, because
we can't agree on ability versus potential.
I think you define those. The way you use them sounds synonymous with each other. When someone says potential or ability, to me, that's the same thing. I have the potential to go and get food. I have the ability to go and get food. I would just use those interchangeably. If you want to play word semantics and use them differently, I can even grant that sure, they're different, but you still would have to explain why that difference matters, right? So again, you're saying that 20 weeks, fetus, because it has the ability for sentience, we can't kill it. However, 19 weeks, because it doesn't, we can kill it. Why does the fact that it's not sentient mean we can end its life?
Do you have any exceptions, Divine?
Why are you not answering my question?
Because I want to ask you if you have any exceptions.
Okay, I'm going to take that as a concession.
No, that's not a concession. Ask me the question again. But I wanted to originally ask you, do you have any exceptions?
No. If you define abortion the way the CDC defines it, no. If you define it more vaguely, then I'll give a medical exception. Now, if you can answer my question, which was, why does the fact that a fetus isn't sentient mean you can kill it? Or doesn't have the ability, should I say?
That fetus, after 20 weeks...
That's circular.
Will typically... Do you want an answer or not?
You're not answering what I'm asking.
Do you want an answer, Divine?
Yes, just answer what I'm asking.
Right, so shut up for 2 minutes.
Okay, go ahead and not answer.
Right. Well, I'm trying to fucking answer. Right. Point being. Because you're throwing me off, brother. I've got ADHD, yeah. Right.
Do you take SSRIs?
No, I don't. What's SSRI? Is that antidepressants? No.
Fluoxetine, sertraline.
I'm on a shitload of birth control, mate.
Synthetic estrogen. Yeah.
Estrogen.
Oh gosh.
The other one.
Oh wow.
And progesterone.
Wow, synthetic hormones to destroy your body. That messes with your mood, your mental stability, your fertility. Wow.
What's wrong with that?
Well, it's just on my live, we have like bingo cards, and the people who support these degenerate ideas, they're either on synthetic hormones or SSRIs.
Birth control.
Well, then it just exacerbated it, because now you're doing lives about it.
I did lives about it 3 years ago, when I was 15, before I went on fucking birth control.
Well, then there must be something at the root. There must be something at the root of the issue, then.
Oh, what? What, because I'm autistic or something like that?
No, wait, who said that? Hold on. That was a reach.
Because if you've got a bingo card, I can guarantee you something like autism or mental health issues.
No, I can read out. Do you own cats?
Do I own cats?
Yes.
No. I'm a dog person.
Do you have a septum? Oh, yes, you have. You look like cattle. You know when they breed cattle?
Yeah.
That thing? Yeah. So that's one.
Like a bitch getting this.
That's one. You take synthetic hormones. That's two.
Yeah.
Do you... okay. Have you aborted your child?
No, I've never been pregnant.
Do you support abortion? Yeah. No, that's a given. Okay. All right. Yeah. Where else is it? Chat. Where's the other one? It's somewhere. I don't have it. I'm remembering off the top of my head. Yeah, sorry. It's just like probably 120 people in here, probably from me, so that's why.
Yeah, we're going to ignore the other 70 that were here before you got here.
There was 15 when I entered the live.
You got here at a low point.
Anyway,
70 prior to you.
Go ahead and tell me.
We started talking about AI and it got a little bit died down.
Well, anyway, we're moving on. So go ahead and tell me, why does the fact the fetus isn't sentient mean she can kill it? Why?
Because look, at the point where a fetus has the ability to be conscious, right? At that point, that fetus has the ability to have, like, personhood and possesses that.
That's just restating.
Fuck me. And I value that. I value that.
Okay, saying you value something is...
Because that would mean that the fetus has equal value to the rest of us.
Saying that you value something is just subjective. It's arbitrary, right? I could just respond and say, hold on. Let me finish.
No, don't fucking tell me to hold on when it's my life.
Okay.
Go and fucking start your own.
I was supposed to. I'm actually late 20 minutes.
Oh, I'm late 20 minutes. Go and start your own if you want.
Oh, no, I want to finish refuting you and then I can.
Right. Point being, see, this is the fucking problem. I literally can't think of what we've just said now.
Yeah,
right.
You said that you value something. I could just respond that I don't. Great, now what? Argument, stalemate.
Okay.
No, that isn't an argument.
That this whole pro-choice versus pro-life thing is inherently subjective then.
No, it's not.
No. Because if people value different things,
but that's not an argument.
It's quite a subjective model.
No. As a value claim is not the same as an argument. Okay, you can give an argument, right? So you asked me why is abortion wrong, and I laid out a set of reasons. I gave case examples. I presented an argument. Whereas what you're saying is just, oh, this matters because I value it. That's just a preference. That's arbitrary. That's like saying you prefer strawberry ice cream over chocolate. You're not telling me anything.
No, so what if I prefer chocolate over strawberry?
Then you have bad taste. Now tell me why it matters.
Ultimately, when it comes down to it, I don't think that 10-year-olds that get grapes when they've started puberty early should have to give birth to something.
Yeah, well,
I'm sorry, I don't think that should be happening.
One could grant those exceptions. I don't, but one could and still be pro-life.
Why don't you grant those exceptions? Oh, shit, sorry, I didn't mean I'd slam my fucking space bar. Turn your microphone on, my bad. Go on.
Because the fetus still possesses the traits I listed, regardless of how it's conceived.
So
I don't think way of conception.
So you genuinely think, and this is the thing I can't get on board with, this is one of my main reasons as to why I will support abortion.
That's a really bad reason.
Okay, that's a really bad reason, right. Because I don't think that 10-year-olds who start puberty early at 8... Because I know people, quite a few, who have menstruated before the age of 12, some as young as 8 years old. If they get graped, they end up pregnant, they should not, as a child, they should not be having a child because that is detrimental to that child's health.
You do realise that you could grant a grape exception, incest exception, life of the mother exception, and you would still oppose... Hey, hold on. You would still oppose 99% of abortions that happen every year. Because 99% of abortions are elective cases between two adults that had consensual schmecks. Like, you know that. So to sit here and say that you are always going to support every abortion because of 2% of abortions is, A, that's standing on child victims.
I'm always going to support elective abortion anyway.
Yeah, but you haven't told me why. That's the problem.
I've told you why. Because
you told me what you value.
Because I value beef. Because I've told you. What else do you want me to say? I've told you.
I want you to give me a set of reasons.
No, I have told you that I value sentience, the ability to be conscious, the personhood in someone rather than the fucking body they're in.
Yeah, I don't value the body either. You're presupposing fetuses don't have personhood at conception. That's a presupposition you haven't proven.
Personhood at conception. Tell me what's personhood?
Yeah, any entity that has a teleological predicate of rationale.
So a fetus is wait, hang on. So hang on. So a fetus can make rational decisions. Is that what you're saying?
That's not what I just said.
Right. What are you saying?
Yeah, an entity that has a teleological predicate of rationale.
What does that mean? Explain it to me like I'm 5.
Sure. Do you know what teleology is?
No.
Okay, yeah, teleology, to put it simply in simple terms, for your small brain, teleology is just the understanding...
Fuck you. No, I'm not having that. For your small brain. You think that 10-year-olds who get graped should give birth? Quiet the fuck down. Next guest.
I'm on your side. You've been on my lives before. I wanted to actually debate him.